Good morning. So looks like we got a real correction underway here. Those baby ones from last year and the years before. There was a couple. There was a couple in there. They seemed to be too far apart, but getting further moved to the downside here, and 444. Surprisingly, these bulls, they still got some wind in their sails, meaning they're stepping up here before that tags the 200. Got this unfilled gap under that area. What the hell are they thinking? Yeah. I think it's got to go down to the 200 and lower. And so yesterday, we were looking at what was happening, and the day was green, and it went up, and then it started to falter. And, it was jiggling up there and here, and came up to the supply area to the left and started to correct. Really not a big deal at the time, just normal for price action, for it to some profit taking to come in. It was still, trending down and had a deep retracement. It had some bullish action there. The question was, can it close green? Can buyers demand absorb the supply to the left over here and keep the price action in the upper half of yesterday's trading day? And it looked like they were going to do that until things started to deteriorate a little bit more. And it happened around lunchtime, and then deteriorated a little more. And it reinforces the psychology of trading, in that buyers don't continue to show up. They lose confidence. The ones that bought lose confidence. Longs over here, the way things moved up and coming down as far as they did, there was a decent probability that things could get, hold up to the day, go a little bit higher, maybe tag 460 on the SPY there, and maybe hang up, near the highs of the day to go higher the next day. And, you get a bar like this, you can expand it out on the 5 minute. I remember in the room, we were sitting there and it's like, oh, check that out. Now, we were saying, oh, is it going to pop back up, after it pulled back here? And you could see it was right in the area of this bottoming tail over there. And so it's like, you get a wide range bar, and it's like, okay, now what does it have to do? Well, pretty simple. It doesn't have to go all the way back down. It had to hang up there, go sideways a bit, and then start working its way up. And lo and behold, 2 bars later, wide range bar down. And that's what I said, it's going down to the low of the day. And you see it after, just kept going and going. So, that's a shock bar. It's a good example. No matter what you did yesterday, this is a good example of recognizing this 3-bar reversal, because in MT Lives, we always show, not always, most of the time we show that candle slide with 1 bar and 3 bars and a W pattern and such. And, comment being, well, like I did yesterday in the pretty much yesterday show, I showed it specifically to that, like a 1 bar can be the same as a 2 bar, a 3 bar message. And so you had a 3 bar message and it was a topping tail. So just pointing this out, that, it's one thing to see something in a webinar and have that explained. It's, oh, that's interesting. But I'm showing you here, this happened yesterday, whereas you see this 3-bar reversal with a slowing momentum bar and down it went. And over here, you see a topping tail bar. The message is the same. It went up and it came back down again. All right. So where's it going to go from here? Well, where are we at? going down. I think it's got to get down here to 41, 441. And why should it stop there? I really don't see any reason other than the self-fulfilling prophecy of, it's been down multiple days. It's on the 200. So odds are it stabilizes. And now that it's built up this little trading range there, I guess if buyers come in strong enough, it can blast up through here. But there's nothing to the left. There's unfilled gaps. So, ultimately, I think probably lower unless we see something, really powerful to reverse off of there. All right, before I get to the futures and SPX, we're getting closer, okay? So what we really want to see today, I would really love to see some nastiness to the downside early in the morning. And so far, this is starting to follow through in that way. So we've got breadth under minus 200. If it can get down to, if the day stays negative the whole day, and this gets down to a minus 300, and hopefully this is now punctured through at least the upper band. What we really want to see is it blow through the bottom band, and S&Ps come down, to the 200, maybe go to 4,400, and this really come down like it did here. Like see, like here where the sentiment came into the lower band. I'd be fine if it went lower. I'd like that even better, of course. But breath poking down here and sentiment poking through there. Some more blood in the street, as it said, and then we look for a reversal. And you could see here the reversal was pretty sloppy. This isn't. It doesn't have to turn on a dime. And even when it gets set up, it could be some really nasty wiggles. So keep that in mind. Right? And I suspect this will come into place by next week. And of course, there's all these earnings that'll be coming. Right? All right. So, but SPX today is a no-brainer. There's that, what's that saying in that movie, Wall Street? Guy calls up, put all your best clients in it. S&Ps right there on the 200. It's like a magnet. It has to touch it. And that kind of like everybody wants a 200. Come on, got to hit the 200. And then for good measure, ideally, it stabilizes there. And then it just rips through it, tears the heart out of those that jumped in early. And getting a little graphic here. A push down, just a little bit more of that, oh my God, what's happening? It won't stop. And then we see if it starts to get turned around. Yes, what Stravos is asking me if I'm saying that right, the angle is too steep. Well, for short-term trading, the angle being too steep is ideal because it communicates fear. Get me the F out of this thing. I don't care anymore. It's going down. Now, don't forget the process here. First, prior day's bar is first resistance. Wide range bars about the half mark. Does it line up with anything subjective? Yes, it does. Right? And then as we look inside there, is there anything? Well, it's created this pivot here this morning. Up above that, there's nothing. So, this is right there. You can see is that this pivot there, and you can see this. Who cares about that? Who cares about that when you're trading this? So, being objective, right? It could push down through here and pop back up, and we've got a W type of a pattern. Now, this is a great example of a W, potential W pattern, because many ask about W's when there's no, they just see retest patterns. They don't remember the momentum move part, which creates the void. So this has the momentum move part, which created the void. We have a new low and reversal here. right? Pivot, it breaks down, immediately reverse, relatively shallow retracement. It's coming back down here, and maybe it makes a new low. Where's the 200 lined up? All right, let's get our little crosshairs on the 200. It's just below that pivot low. You see the crosshair there. That's where the 200 is, right over here. So maybe coming down there and then a flip back up again. And that could give us a long trade. We got to get the flip because this could just keep going down bar by bar. So we go down to a smaller time frame and we look for stabilization, some kind of a turn. Right now, everything's pointing down, right? All moving averages are pointing down. If you were in yesterday's webinar, down, down, down. It's not time to be thinking long yet. Right, SPX. Right, 200 is down here. You know, this would already be down a bit further, but it doesn't give us data. So down here, and could it go to 4,400? Sure. And I mean, you could go down below 4,280 if you wanted, but I mean, 4,280, 4,285, 4,290. Thing is, right, you can go below 4,300 today and pick up some shekels. Is this going down below 4,300 today? I don't think so. I guess it would be terror on Wall Street if it does, but when it gets down there, I bet you institutions are down there with shovels. So take your pick. Down there, let's move 4,300 just so you see exactly where it is. There, the bottom down there, 4,300. So there's premium down here. So maybe it goes down further in the morning to where even down here, it'll be more money than it is now. So I moved it. What'd they do? They're refreshing it. 4,285 is 55 by 70 right now. So that would be a monstrous move. You got the 200, you got an unfilled gap, you got this congestion there, and it's already down multiple days in a row. To get all the way down there, you know, I don't think so. I can't remember any kind of a move that could be that big where it's already moved that far and then just continuing in a one day to go that far. No, we need a crash. Okay, where else are we at? 17. I hogged the whole pre-market yesterday, so let's get done here. I think everything's pretty much the same. Nastiness, broken this thing, you know, I don't know if it's politically correct anymore, but you know, when we were kids would say, that thing's going down to China. There's the Russell. You know, breakdown, nothing to stop it. You know, there's this little pivot down there. So maybe that's the initial stopping point. Bullish, if you can find premium on a bullish credit spread, Ken, sure. If you can find premium far enough away, absolutely. But you mean the debit spread, not a credit spread. If you can do, I'm talking about a credit spread on SPX so far down there. Now, to find SPY so far down there or some stock so far down there, Dan will cover Netflix, but Netflix can be something, you know, with this all the way down here below 400. I mean, I think that could be potentially, I don't look at the quotes, but that could have some premium, you know, down here somewhere. Sell a naked put at 300. Look to the left. Look what's down there. If there was such juice, institution's going to pick this thing up. If this thing goes down to 300, which I highly doubt that it will today, but at 300, just ask Dan for money. He'll get you some change, get several thousand shares, and all right. Q's pushing through the 200. And so now, right at the beginning of the year in the newsletter, we said, hey, we're expecting at least a 10% correction somewhere along the way this year. Lo and behold, here it is. Right? It didn't take very long down on the futures anyway. And about 12% all the way down here. So big area of price support. As you can see, down that pivot low down there. And there's QQQ. That pivot low. It's down 357-ish. Down here. So coming down to an area of support. 358, 358. It should bottom. It should. We just need to see, the prices begin to stabilize. Not happening yet.
How are your internals?
They're close enough for government work. They should, when they start calculating this morning, they should get even better.
Right.
Showed them before.
Well, breadth I wanted to see because breadth
under 200.
Because breadth was improving obviously yesterday morning, but then the sky fell out in the afternoon.
Okay, so we covered that. YM down here. It's down through the 200. Scary stuff. And I would set an alert down here just to see. Where else are we going to do it? Set an alert down there, 3,400 to 34, between 3,400 and 34,200, 34,000. And what happened on transports yesterday? They're down at the pivot. And where's VIX? Up by the pivot. You should be aware. You should have had an alert. Let's see. The high is up here, but set an alert at 30. Just at or above, at or below. No, I don't know, at or below. I want at or above. Okay. Maybe it keeps going up, but be aware of where that is. And okay, Bitcoin is down pretty good, breaking low. Looks like that measured move's coming. So there is information out there that, whatever nastiness we get this morning, it's not going to be the low. Because there's room for certain things to fall here. And now oil is coming in a bit. That was one of the legs under the market. We already had the crack in financials. KBE cracked. So what was strong is now, throwing it up. That's good. And how's our gold thing doing? Gold looks good. We're in gold. That looks good. Silver led the way. It's at the 200. So, all right. So hopefully it'll be a fun day. All yours, Dan.
All right. Fun day. Yeah, I was talking in the room yesterday when you obviously were out for the seminar, but with that, you pointed out the reversal on the 15-minute chart at whatever that was, 115 or whatever it was. And then just nasty selling all day. And since we closed at the low, I actually said, you know what, folks, I give it an equal chance that we gap up in the morning. But I said I would prefer a gap down and more nastiness. And so we're getting the first part of that right now. But yeah, I think we're close to. Might have a few false starts, but yeah, my bias is to short these expensive puts right now, without a doubt. So let's see, our problem childs, obviously Netflix, we did a way out of the money earnings trade, and this is just blowing through the expected move. So since the intent was to take assignment, what I'm thinking of my plan is, whenever we get a intraday reversal, we'll sell to close the long put, and then that will, the profit on that will reduce our cost basis, and then we'll just figure out at the end of the day if we genuinely want to take assignment or roll it. And then we got some Q puts for next week, but they're the 350s, so still totally fine with those. And Mr., we did a one DTE when this was at the high yesterday, a little retest, and with Bitcoin getting whacked, it's taken down the whole sector, so we'll be looking at rolling that. Now, I don't know if, all right, this sell-off here, yeah, see, the Treasury came out and yesterday and said they were starting to look at their own stable coin, whatever they call it. So that put a hurting on that. And then there was some noise about Russia also trying to, limit the stuff. Here, I just noticed HA. We're going to need to roll. No, my bad. HA stopped out yesterday. Never mind. John Williams is saying, what time is the AM SPX close today? I have no idea. You better Google it, go to the CME website, because I do not want to give you the wrong answer. I never trade AMs myself. But it's in the morning sometime. I don't know if it's 8:30, 8:15. I just have no idea. Google it. All right, let's look at some gappers here now. Intel said they're going to invest $20 billion in a plant in Ohio. Now, that's good news for Ohio. And I'm sure it's a blow to Silicon Valley, which I love. Oh, we're in a number of shorts here. I said cover a third of Disney pre-market. I keep losing my pre-market. We did it at 142, but now it's lower. So Disney, you can, those of you who didn't get the telegram, I would just cover third right now, 141 and a quarter. We got a huge, beautiful gain. We're in Sienna. We have 2/3 lot left. That looks fantastic. So I'll be tightening the stop on that. Hertz, we're short. We had a nice day trade. Well, we entered it as a swing, the video here on the breakdown. And we had such a huge open game. We're talking in the room about, hey, bird in the hand, Bush, this and that. I said it still looked lower, but we took our money. If any of you held it, then you're getting paid for it. LLNW was holding up pretty well pre-market. We'll come back to you. So there's our Disney. And with Netflix, Disney's getting punished and Roku's getting punished because, the whole idea of the streaming wars, but no pattern here on Roku. Oliver, I was asking about Tesla and Amazon. If the market stabilizes, we got end of day climactic buy setups with a gap down. So there is zero good entry for new shorts. We have a call spread on Tesla is a bear 1, 2, 3. It's gapping down. So 30-minute low. Tesla is okay. on the daily, but so many others have climactic dailies. Like this. I mean, you would never short this on a daily chart. 275 gapping down on earnings. No pattern. TCBI. There's no pattern. These were earnings, INDB. I can't tell where it's gapping, but wide range bar. Wow, this is strange that there's no volume. Greg, I started putting together some volume slides already. That's strange. A banner, no pattern. These are earnings. ASB. It's a buy setup, but it's a buy setup from a square rounded top, which we don't like. We like them from V tops. Garbage. Oh, SPWR. This is a solar stock gapping under this entire base. Remember we did the turn the other day on MT Live? No turn here. That still has pain. Oh, remember we've been talking about EV stocks being under pressure. There was an article and wow, it's a high band. Ooh, that's a nasty gap down. That's 100% retracement now. There was an article in the journal saying that they're going to continue to struggle without, you know, not Wall Street, without government subsidies and helps and all that, which I totally disagree with. Let the industry stand on itself. Square top, no pattern.